If you see it in a very nice, sexy way, I was very happy. I'm everything I wanted. Yeah, it stands out. And you were very responsive as well. So this is something we can definitely market and sell. And the quality was so much better than anyone. Get almost the best people on it. And that saved us so much time and hassle. And I felt that I was understood, which is very rare. Whatever you save in the beginning will bite you in the ass later. So it's probably going to cost you 3-4 times as much. Surround yourself with people that are really good at what they're doing. That made my life so much easier. It made me sleep good at night. I've already recommended you.
Hey guys, we are here in Bali with one of our latest clients for render services. We pick a location that you can see is packed with construction. You cannot avoid it in Bali. But try to choose a nice place where you can see some good views, some chill time where we can ask him some questions about the experience working with us. Hopefully give you more information to make your decisions, and if you have any question you can let us know. So here we are with Arne, one of our latest clients for the render service. I just wanted to have a short interview or kind of like podcast style of his experience working with us. So I will start in some questions, try to make it conversational. The first question I would ask you is if you can introduce a bit about yourself and your project.
So I'm Arne. I am the director of the Serai project in Bingin, which is 16 villas and a communal spa. We are keeping around 8 of the villas, and 10 of the villas will be selling off-plan. So that's why I engaged Alberto and his team to make some really high quality renders for us to be able to really showcase the project to our potential buyers that will be buying off-plan.
How did you hear about our company? How did you want to know about that?
I'm part of some real estate in Bali, and I saw your name popping up about someone that could be doing really high quality, hyper realistic renders. So I reached out to help us.
And how you compare what you see in the market before and what you got to know our portfolio, our renders?
Yeah, when I saw your portfolio, it was definitely hyper realistic. It was many different styles and kind of energies. So I could see that you could do what the client wants, right? And not just do your own style. And it was definitely like very clean, very realistic, and just, what I want to see when I'm buying an off-plan villa.
Okay. And what were your initial impressions when you saw your final render?
I was very happy. I'm working with my team in the Serai, and it's the first time for me working with someone that does renders. So it was a bit of a question mark for me if they were actually going to be as good in your portfolio.
Yeah.
But they were perfect. They were actually everything I wanted.
So how would you describe the realism of the render?
Like I said, it's very realistic. I asked specifically also for a time of day. So it's a very nice light. There's like sunset, sunrise.
Yeah.
So it's very aspirational. People that see the renders, including agents or potential clients, they always say, oh, this is very high quality.
Okay. And if you would compare it to other renders that you've seen before, like in the area of Bali or anywhere else?
Yeah, it stands out. It's much better. It's much higher quality.
And any specifics that you would say, like highlight any specific thing of the render that made it pop out or impressed you particularly?
I think the light somehow. I also want to highlight, it's not just about the end product, but also the process. So I felt there was very little need for me to communicate. I could say a couple of things, and I think you and your team could immediately see what was needed. And what I heard from my team as well is that they worked very well with your team as well. So that was very quick, without too much back and forth. And you were very responsive as well, is what I heard.
Okay, awesome, thank you. And then the impact that this might have in your project, like have you see how they help you visualizing and presenting your project to the clients, or have they contributed to attracting more investors or buyers or any interest from agencies?
So I have a lot of interest from potential buyers. Also, I've spoken to some real estate agencies that don't want to work with any project developer because there's a lot on the market right now. And so every real estate agent that I showed the presentation to, including the renders, said, oh, we really like your project. Right? This is something we can definitely market and sell. So even that is to be able to sell with the right kind of agencies, you need the right kind of
Open
presentation vendors.
I get you. So open the doors to maybe some of the more selective ones because the market is loaded.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you think then the investment on high quality renders is worthwhile and why?
Yeah. I think in my case, it's a bigger project. We want to sell 7 or 9 actually villas.
Mhm.
It was not like super cheap, but if you're looking for speed and quality,
Yeah.
which most people will when we're looking at renders, it's definitely good.
Okay. Thank you. Then I will ask you also about the price. What were your thoughts on the pricing for our services? And also like if you have any initial concern about the cost and how we address those.
Yeah. So I definitely had an initial concern compared to the market here. Your prices were higher, significantly higher than some of the other vendors. But I actually compared with another vendor as well at the same time, just to see what the process was like. And what I found out is that one, again, you're way faster and speed was important for me. You're way more responsive. I felt your team and my team were working in the weekends to get things done on time. And then the quality was just so much better than anyone else's. So if you have a big enough project, I think it makes total sense to spend a bit more money on the renders.
Yeah. Okay. Then I will ask you also what the perceived value of our renders is in relation to the price, like for you or for your contacting agencies.
Yeah, like I said, initially I was a bit concerned, am I overpaying? Yeah. This is quite a big investment. But now that I see the result and how the market reacts to it, I think it was totally worth it. Also, my company developing projects with off-plan villas, really the pictures and the renders are one of the few things you can show me. And a picture says more than 1,000 words. I can tell you all day about the project, but if you see it in a very nice, sexy way, people are interested in it. Yeah. So it's something you have to make sure you get almost the best people on it because it's so important, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. My point of view on this is like the renters are gonna work for you pretty much for 1 year. If it's 1 year of construction, is your only way to connect to the client until you finish one villa, and then you can show actually what you do. So it's working like 24/7 marketing.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay, what would be your overall experience working with us, and any aspect of the service that stand out to you?
Yeah, I think overall, as I mentioned, it was great, both in terms of quality, speed, responsiveness. All of those actually stand out to me. But I think what I liked most, because in this market, what I'm noticing is that there's a lot of lost in translation. And then there's like 7 or 10 revisions back and forth. No, you didn't get it. I wanted more like this or that. With your team, it went really fast. It was like maybe 1 or 2 revisions and it was done and it was exactly what I wanted.
Okay.
And that saved us so much time and hassle. And that's really something.
So you would say it was smooth, the process was smooth, even though it was the first time you did renders, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Very smooth, and I felt that I was understood. Yeah. Which is very rare because as being an expat here and you're working with the local population, sometimes there's just miscommunication, not seeing eye to eye. And I felt everything was understood immediately and was implemented in the right way and very fast. And that made my life so much easier and made me sleep good at night knowing that, okay, I'm going to have renders and a presentation and a product that's going to do well in the market without having to go through months of this is not what I wanted. It was very strict. Yeah.
So if you would you recommend us? And if you would, why?
I've already recommended you, as you know. So I recommend you now to everyone that wants to do renders. And I talk about, it's not the cheapest in the market, but it's the best. It depends on what you want. So I definitely would recommend you on those 3 counts: quality, speeds, and smoothness of process.
So I think we are pretty much done with the question. I would just say if you have any overall thoughts, anything else that you would like to share from your experience working with us that maybe I didn't ask you.
No other point, just the fact that I'm grateful to have worked with you, and I hope other people will too.
Okay. And do you have any advice for other developers, like whether they're their first project or more advanced, regarding architectural, considering high quality renders in the context of their architectural designs?
Well, being someone that didn't previously have experience in real estate project development, my advice would be to surround yourself with people that are experts and that really know what they're doing, because you will have a lot of blind spots in terms of marketing, sales, the actual construction, the planning, the design. If you can, don't try to save money on that, because it will bite you in the ass later. So better just do it right from the beginning and spend a little bit more. And because you'll have a lot of blind spots that you don't know about, and you need to surround yourself with people that are really good in what they're doing, being in renders or design or construction.
Yeah, I agree. From my experience is that sometimes people don't value enough time, in the sense that they prefer to spend more time figuring out, and at the end they come back to do actually put an option that is reliable. But they try to save, but they're not saving because they're spending a lot of time.
Whatever you save in the beginning, it's probably going to cost you 3-4 times as much down the line. And it's a lot of headache. Working with you guys was one of the better calls that I did. And again, my team was super happy to work with your team as well. So
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much. I think we covered everything for what we did in your project, and also your experience, so maybe it can help other people that are in the fence in Laughton. Cool, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.